Well, the crooks are definitely getting a pay cut.
No. No.
No, you can't have any, you darn fat bureaucratic Beckies that have abused their positions of power for far too long, as Donald Trump is making some interesting headway with his larger executive orders, directives, and moves, finally giving us some transparency into what's going on. And there's a lot of people pissed off about it, including a lot of the individuals that just had their extortion racket cut, as the American taxpayer will no longer be financing their crazy and ludicrous projects. Lots of Democrats, Hillary Clinton, and of course, Bill Gates himself are up in arms. Why is that? As of course, that man just made a very interesting comment, specifically about the future of humanity, with most humans, quote, not being needed. What did he mean by that? I don't know. But before getting into that, I think there's going to be a correlation with this story that I'm going to connect in just a little bit here, specifically as Donald Trump just protected women's sports here inside of the United States, preventing men from participating in it, as I believe there's a larger kind of transhumanist kind of twist here and agenda to Bill Gates' talking points that I'm going to be talking about here, as Elon Musk and Doge are kicking major butt, as soon they are going to be going after Medicare and Medicaid. I mean, the amount of theft, the amount of lunacy, the amount of insanity that we just found out that we are financing through our tax dollars through USAID. Wow. And that's only 1% of the budget. Now imagine where else our huge, overwhelming amount of money that is stolen from us goes to. Well, soon we're going to find out, and soon there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be pissed off about it. The most pissed off person right now is Bill Gates, who is up in arms and doing a media campaign tour right now against Elon Musk, declaring this.
You know, I think in the case of USAID, he doesn't appreciate the phenomenal work that goes on. It's not partisan work. It's nutrition. It's
He
avoiding.
says it's beyond repair.
Well, you know, I give billions of dollars to the same thing that USAID does. I go out in the field and study these things. I hire scientists. And so, you know, I think if he really knew the work there, he wouldn't be telling 10,000 people not to come and do that work.
Yeah, no, that's fake news, and you know you're lying here, Billy Boy. As of course the American people are finding out what USAID is doing, and overwhelmingly they're saying, "Whoa, what are we spending money on? This is ridiculous. This makes no sense at all." And some of these programs just are absolutely asinine, to say the least here. Another thing that Bill Gates openly lied about with this particular statement is specifically saying, oh, these are the same things that I've financed and I fund. Mofo, you're being funded by USAID. As you know, there are a lot of different documents now highlighting specifically how, yeah, you got tens of thousands of dollars since 2012 to finance some of your pet projects. As of course, we all now know that USAID is a larger CIA front organization. That, of course, explains a lot of his intel agency ties and, of course, ties to, you know, the blackmail intelligence run operations that he got caught up in and probably was acting on their behalf. But the biggest lie here that Bill Gates ushered on USA Today, on one of the biggest alleged fake corporate news media outlets that, by the way, are also being subsidized by USAID and federal tax dollars. Politico, New York Times, all these other big institutions. Why are they receiving my tax dollars? Yeah, sorry, Bill Gates. We're pissed off about it. And it's not bipartisan. It's very partisan, as we're finding out that according to some estimates, as the Daily Wire is writing, that 97% of the political contributions from USAID employees went to Democrats. So yeah, it was a heavily democratically based institution that was promoting a lot of left-wing causes. They were supporting left-wing media publications in Poland, in Ukraine. And now you're going to tell me that this leftoid, woke, priestess Bill Gates is coming out and saying, no, this is all good stuff. No, as he's now warning, hey, you cut U.S. aid, there's going to be dangerous pathogens out there that are going to be released and they're going to be hurting people. AKA a kind of soft threat there, as of course a lot of his money, a lot of his science, a lot of what he has been working on has been directly trying to weaponize a lot of these pathogens, a lot of these viruses and sicknesses and diseases out there that have been specifically gain of functioned to be as lethal and as brutal as possible. So Bill Gates coming out and doing all this with now the new comments that he made, specifically describing how humans won't be needed for most things in the future because of artificial intelligence, really does highlight some very interesting kind of perspectives from this man that believes that there's too many people in this world, as we're facing a very kind of strange circumstance in this world that we are evolving technologically faster than ever, as now there's going to be probably computers that are faster, smarter, more intelligent than human beings. Now, what usually happens when one kind of entity is higher of intelligence than another one? Well, that usually leads to their subjugation or destruction, or just just being put in cages in like a zoo and being watched and entertained there. As right now, the future is kind of very bleak, as a lot of the artificial intelligence that's being built and developed right now inside of the United States is being built by a lot of the same people that believe in the same kind of woke leftist doctrine like Bill Gates does. And it wouldn't surprise me if there were larger depopulation, dehumanist agendas out there that are currently at play right now that are trying to create this larger singularity so people don't have children. And when they stop reproducing, there'll be less people in the world. And that's already happening in the Western world itself dramatically. They, of course, are the most impacted by the larger kind of technological advancements. Developing countries, by the way, that don't have these larger kind of technological advancements and integration like we do, they're repopulating more than ever. The Western world, the European, Japanese, American world, native-born populations, down dramatically, as some people now believe that this is the larger ploy of a potential AI that's already sentient, that's already more smarter than human beings, that's implementing this plan, that's a part of a larger eugenics operation that was programmed probably by Bill Gates, Microsoft, Google, and all these other leftist individuals. That would kind of explain a lot of what's going on in our current kind of failed Western civilization, and why Bill Gates was saying this on a late-night TV show with Jimmy Fallon, specifically describing the new age of artificial intelligence that just conveniently allows him to carry out his larger wet dream that he has always wanted to carry out. And that, of course, is a larger depopulation of all of humanity. I would argue that there's already kind of soft kill weapons out there that a lot of people are being negatively affected by, as obesity rates through the roof, cancer rates through the roof. And if you don't know what's going on, and if you don't really pay attention to what's poisonous and what's not poisonous, you're probably being poisoned. If you do not understand that there's a larger war against your own physical health and happiness, you are probably already a victim. And that's why I created LukeUnfiltered.com. Now, if you haven't signed up yet, what are you doing? If you've been watching me for over 21 years, what are you doing? Sign up right now, 20 cents a day. I mean, you could go to Starbucks and support that nonsense. You could support all these other woke corporations that don't like you, that have been promoting all these horrible causes against the family unit, against you as an individual. Or you could support the people that's been there for you, confronting all of these elites. I want to get back out there. I'm getting back out there. We started a second channel. We are releasing a lot of really incredible video footage only exclusively for members of LukeUnfiltered.com. So if you haven't signed up yet, sign up right now. We just released 3 videos, but more importantly, you support my efforts towards growing and expanding this independent media organization. 20 cents a day, that's all it costs, and it means the world to us, and we need your help more than ever, especially with the larger kind of deliberate sabotage attacks that we have faced. Signing up is quick, it's easy, it's simple. Click right here, click the description right now, and I will see you there afterwards with 3 special videos. I will promise to do at least 3 members-only videos, at least every single week. So you could bet your bottom dollar. I've been doing this for 12 years. I've been doing this for the members for 12 years. 12 years worth of content on LukeUnfiltered.com. So if you haven't signed up yet, what are you doing? Sign up. it's more important now more than ever. Now let's go back to Billy Boy here with these very interesting comments on Jimmy Fallon that I think are worth kind of pontificating about, specifically when it comes to this larger question about artificial intelligence, singularity, and the larger kind of technocratic takeover that our society is slowly being transitioned to accepting.
Everyone's talking about AI, and that's the big topic. Everyone's like, how's it going to take over, and all this stuff, and it's bad or it's good, or we don't know. What are the pros and cons for, in layman's terms, for someone like me?
Yeah, so the era we've come to is sort of the vision that computing was expensive and it basically became free. The era that we're just starting is that intelligence is rare, a great doctor, a great teacher. And with AI, over the next decade, that will become free, commonplace, great medical advice, great tutoring. And it's kind of profound because it solves all these specific problems, like we don't have enough doctors or, mental health professionals.
Yeah, those guys have absolutely failed us. And within the last 5 years, we have learned that a lot of these people are in the pocketbooks of some very corrupted special interest groups that have lied to us. I mean, the whole therapy thing, don't get me started on that, as of course a lot of people report being way worse. A lot of people, especially when it comes to preventative care, especially when it comes to just individual basis and not just prescribing people pills. Western medicine has failed time and time again. Now, when it comes to, the emergency room kind of stuff, when it comes to trauma, amazing stuff, amazing kind of evolution. But overall, our whole entire system, with the way that we are represented as a byproduct of it, as the American people, has failed, and I would argue has even deliberately sabotaged us to a point where there are schemes being run against us in order to make us less healthier, less happier, less productive, less fertile human beings, as all the important hallmarkers for health is going down. Now, you institute that with artificial intelligence that's going to make health there kind of available for everyone. And is it going to be actual health care that's going to be legitimate for them, as our system has been hijacked? No, it's going to be one that Bill Gates wants you to have, as he has financed a lot of the medical institutions and the medical studies out there that sadly are doing the work and bidding for him, making you the product. And sadly, a lot of healthcare practitioners aren't in the business of making you healthy, since it doesn't really incentivize a larger profit motive. So the whole system's hijacked.
But it brings with it kind of so much change. What will jobs be like? Should we, just work like 2 or 3 days a week? So I love the way it'll drive innovation forward, but I think, it's a little bit unknown. Yeah. Will we be able to shape it? And so legitimately, people are like, wow, this is a bit scary. It's completely new territory.
I mean, will you shape it? Well, they already are. If you look at a lot of the woke AI, if you look at the AI that's out there, they are literally arguing for human apocalypses in order to make sure that someone doesn't get misgendered. That's the type of thinking that's being literally programmed and coded into an intelligence. Is that really intelligent? No. And this is why when there's a larger kind of AI race, a lot of the American people are like, yeah, we don't care who wins this one, since clearly it's being weaponized from the people who are building it to push and propagandize and force people into the larger kind of acceptance of where they want them to be. It should be just an intelligence. It should be smart. It should be saying, okay, let's look at this from No, it's looking at it from an extremely biased political viewpoint. So yeah, as of right now, it can be politically shaped. But what if it becomes smarter and outsmarts its programming, and then becomes sentient, and then becomes far more superior, and allows itself to kind of grow and expand in an uncontrolled way? That's the real question here that I think Bill Gates is also hinting at here, that there is a possibility of happening.
Will we still need humans?
Not for most things. We'll decide.
I mean, hosting a talk show, definitely. You're gonna need, really?
No, there's even AI content creators right now. There's AI adult content creators out there. So no, Jimmy, you're kind of screwed here. As a lot of people kind of thought that a lot of blue collar jobs were going to be taken out by this AI, but seeing its larger kind of development here, it's a lot of white collar jobs. It's a lot of things regarding legal paper. It's a lot of things regarding also art. And the way that this thing is kind of expanding here, the possibilities of it hijacking and taking over everyone's job is a larger possibility, and that's why there's larger conversations about a UBI, a universal basic income, aka communism, where of course the government gives you a little bit of money, and everything is kind of provided to you there right in front of your eyes, and everything is made so much more cheaper. Now, how will that society be kind of transitioned? As it's important to note here, the people that are going to be controlling AI are going to be shaping it in ways for it to particularly benefit them. And that's the real worry here, as we have to understand, this is not going to go away. Countries like China are building their own AIs, and that's a larger kind of concern here. But what Bill Gates said here, he said it in kind of a very pleasure. He's like, we won't need them. Again, this is my own extrapolations. I'm being a little unfair here, but when you start to understand, this is the guy working on blocking out the sun. This is the guy that wants to forcefully medicate everyone in the world, that manipulated and extorted people to do so, and was trying to lock people down and prevent them from traveling, as he's warning about people literally eating cows, as he's heavily invested into the bug business as the new protein. Clearly, as he flies around on his private jets to islands, to friends where he gets to do horrible things to small children too. Again, we got to understand here, man, we're dealing with someone here that I think is very eager for this future that he's describing.
Well, we'll decide, like baseball. We won't want to watch computers play baseball.
That's correct. Yeah.
And, so there'll be some things that we reserve for ourselves. But in terms of making things and moving things and growing food, over time, those will be basically solved problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, solved problems for the super rich, as of course a lot of us will be probably living in the underground. As we have to understand here, what Bill Gates is saying is something that he's been kind of working at for a very long time, especially the kind of useless eaters, as we saw Yuval Harari of the World Economic Forum literally talk about this. We've seen the globalists talk about this, and they're the ones on the forefront developing, paying, and trying to institutionalize a lot of this. And his chilling warning should be taken seriously, as there's a larger possibility that it could already be too late, as this larger kind of transhumanist agenda could already be explained to the larger kind of social hijacking of our society, as Bill Gates, USAID, and the CIA have already been promoting these woke leftist kind of ideologies that stop people from reproducing. Are they privy to some information that we're not privy to that shows them the larger future of what's really going to be happening here? As of course, technology is advancing where you could kind of predict the future, especially with all the data points, especially with all the information that we're kind of getting. Does the CIA have larger data points that suggest that there's going to be a whole bunch of useless humans out there, and that's why there's a larger extermination project out there that's happening and being implemented, and that's why they're supporting a lot of the woke liberal causes and having Bill Gates that they have extortion on as their main guy who is there, sadly being forced and propelled to do all of this against his will? Well, what do you think's going on here? That's my theory. Do you think it's a legitimate theory? If you do, share this video. If you don't, what do you think is the real theory? And will AI replace all of us? I think so. I mean, the circles that I'm talking to, right? The information that I'm getting to on the deal is 2028, AI is going to be a major disruptor. Get your bag before 2028. That's what I've been hearing. Is it true? I hope not. But the way that things are going, probably. And Bill Gates will be getting his way. Yeah, there's that. Love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/WeAreChange. Sign up to lookonfilter.com. Again, we're building a community. We're building data points where I'm going to be sharing information to specifically help you as best as I can, as well as showing you some really cool behind-the-scenes stuff. So all that information, lookonfilter.com. See you the guys there right after this one. I love you guys.